Moin, meine Kampfkumpelzwerge und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer weiteren Folge von Sherlock Holmes, Chapter 1, ihr Lieben. Ich wollte gerade offline einfach weiterzocken. Ich war gerade so gedanklich irgendwie drin, dass ich einfach so gesagt habe, ja, kommt, wir befragen die Leute einfach mal. Und,
Sorry, we don't see much here.
wir haben hier nämlich zwei Sachen. Ich habe nämlich Gedankenspiel gerade noch gemacht. Offline, da war ich gerade noch so im Film drin. Und hier müssen wir noch was befragen, glaube ich. Ich weiß es auf jeden Fall nicht. Und das müssen wir dann noch raussuchen. Wir gucken mal, vielleicht finden wir hier irgendwas.
Is this familiar to you?
Sorry. We don't
Warte mal, wir machen mal kurz.
see much here.
Do you know anything about this?
They often take us from the camp to work. Most don't mind though. It's the only way to get a glimpse of freedom.
Ich sollte das auch auswählen. Den Aussagen der Flüchtlinge zufolge kommen regelmäßig zwielichte Personen ins Lager und nehmen Flüchtlinge mit, die dann außerhalb des Lagers unterschiedlichste Arbeiten verrichten. Dabei handelt es sich für gewöhnlich um schwere Arbeit durch... Punkt, Komma. Doch die Flüchtlinge bekommen dafür Geld und Essen. Die Frau, die aus dem Lager entführt werden sollte, wurde einmal missbraucht, nachdem sie vorgeblich zum Arbeiten mitgenommen worden war. Seitdem haben die Flüchtlinge nicht mehr zugelassen, dass Frauen aus dem Lager geschleust werden.
So there's a smuggling ring in the camp. This wasn't the first time that someone freely entered the camp to take a refugee out.
At least it was certainly his last time. My gut tells me that we'll learn more about this ring when we find out where the thug came from.
Schön.
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Ich glaube, das finde ich dann später noch heraus, ne? Wir gehen erstmal hier hin.
I owe you a lot, Mr. Holmes.
Gut, ich glaube, ich kann hier nichts mehr machen. Hoffe ich. Lass nochmal kurz auf der Karte schauen. Ich habe aber noch nicht alle Beweise, ne?
You still here?
The intruder has a most peculiar tattoo on his neck, 2 lines and a point. Do you know anything about it?
You really want to know, kid? Why? You want to play a policeman or something?
I'm sure you have it in your records, so it won't hurt if I have it in mine.
In my records, it's just a tattoo, as it should be in yours. Ah, to hell with you. Suit yourself as to what you're going to do with it. Off the record, though, such tattoos are often connected to a man named Mr. Niccolo Bernadotti.
Bernadotti, you say?
A respectable businessman in Scaladio. His company imports goods and wines, and smuggles everything that can be smuggled between the colonies and the mainland. His people can be identified by an obscure tattoo, just like the one over there our friend has. But these are all merely rumors, you see. If Mr. Bernadotti was a criminal, he'd be in prison now. Or hanged, right?
Aha. So. Einmal zur Polizei und... Ich gehe erstmal zur Polizei. Ich habe es gerade rausgemacht, ne? Schön. Dann haben wir es. Und ich teleportiere mich einmal weg. Einmal zur Polizei. Ich komme hier gerade immer noch nicht weg.
Is this I just
Murder! Beasts!
need to collect my thoughts, Sherry.
Ja, mach doch. Sherry, Sherry Lady. Ich würde einmal zuerst hier hingehen, weil das in der Nähe ist. Ein Beamter. Arzthaus ist eigentlich schon logisch, dass wir... Bin immer wieder leicht verwirrt, wohin ich muss. Hierhin. Das ist es doch. Ich glaube wahrscheinlich immer die ganze Zeit so komplett falsch. Hallo, Tschüssi. So. Amtsträger. Rechtsdokumenten. Da haben wir es dort. Thomas Norton. Oder Newton. Geboren 1840 in London. Abschluss an der Universität Oxford. Begann 69 im Innenministerium als Sekretär zu arbeiten. 75 Militär. Was? Militärer? Ihr wisst, was das steht. 77 von der Queen mit dem Orden auf zum britischen Abgesandten auf Corona ernannt mit eigenem Kabinett im Rathaus. Okay. Das haben wir. Bürger. Nee, da muss ich, glaube ich, zur Polizei. Warte. Fragen wir einfach mal die junge Dame vorne. Wir sind ja gerade im Rathaus.
Have you found anything helpful?
Are you able to help me?
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's beyond my knowledge.
Oh, hi. Ich wollte nicht so einfach reinplatzen.
If you're here on matters of signing up for military service, come back tomorrow. Our department needs to straighten out some business.
Komm, ich beobachte dich erstmal, mein Kumpel. Kein Schlaf letzte Nacht. Bartstoppeln, keine Zeit zum Rasieren gehabt. Oh, das ist jetzt tragisch. Abgenutzter immer getragen. Arbeitet immer sehr lange. Was haben wir denn da? Roter Fleck Wein, das bekommt man noch mit. Gewissensbisse, das würde ich nehmen. Seinen Orden nicht abzunehmen. Der rote Fleck auf seiner Hand lässt vermuten, dass er vor kurzem Rotwein getrunken hat. Sein unrasiertes Gesicht und seine geröteten Augen deuten darauf hin, dass er Schlaflosigkeit leidet unter... Er wirkt so, als ob er einen fortwährenden Albtraum durchlebt und am liebsten, ich glaube, das ist das Erste. Besprechen wir das.
Why are you staring at me like I'm a Madame Tussauds figure? Didn't you hear what I just said?
You blame yourself for what you did. Won't be any good unless you confess to me, so I'll try to be polite.
What sort of did are we talking about? Are you from the press?
I'm here because of Naylor.
Who?
You don't remember her name.
Lad, if you won't tell me why you came, I'll call for someone here to sort you out, if you get my meaning.
Do you recognize this man?
We definitely look alike. But you have the wrong person.
Really? Then you won't mind if I pass this along to the newspaper?
All right. All right. Is this about money, as you said in the letter? What kind of sum are we talking about?
I've never written a single word to you. Bribery, not my style.
So, that letter, it wasn't from you?
Well, it appears that more and more people in the city are finding out about your despicable hobby, doesn't it? You're in the clutches of justice, and very soon they will squeeze you. It's in your best interest to cooperate.
Fine. I suppose now we have a nice long talk. Do you drink, Mr.
Sherlock Holmes. And I do not.
Shame. All the best discussions are accompanied by a glass of whiskey. But out of respect for you, I won't drink either.
Respect? That's an unusual word in your mouth, Mr.
Where are my manners? My name is Thomas Norton, a British envoy in Cordona on a military mission. So, where do we start?
Boniface Mercurio. Does the name mean anything to you?
He's an artist, right?
The one responsible for the painting that compromises you. I found him dead in his room.
Oh, that is bad. Wait, you don't think that I have anything to do with this?
You had motive to kill him.
Maybe I did, but listen. I know how this looks, but murder? That's on another level. I had thoughts that this Mercutio...
Mercurio.
Well, him, yes, I thought he could have been the blackmailer. But I was too afraid to make any hasty decisions. There were plenty of ways to fail by making a move, so I chose to wait. To see what he would do next. You have to believe me.
I don't believe people, I believe evidence.
Then look at the evidence.
The painting that depicted you in the image of the devil was stolen by a mercenary. Did you have anything to do with it?
I might be a rotten person, sir, but hiring criminals for illicit purposes is not in my daily schedule.
And buying the painting in an attempt to hide the crime, is that on your daily schedule?
What would you do in my situation?
I would never put myself in such a situation.
You're young. I could never have imagined myself in my current position, yet here I am in front of you. We all make mistakes, Mr. Holmes, and I'm no exception.
So, let's return to the beginning. What happened at the party?
I vaguely remember that night. As usual at such parties, you meet people, you talk with them, they invite you to spend some time alone with them. What can I say? I got myself mixed up with the wrong company, and somebody must have mixed some psychoactive substance in my drink. After that, it's all blurry. I completely lost my sanity. I made a terrible mistake which I regret deeply.
You don't say. Do refugee girls often appear on the menu at those types of parties?
It's rather rare.
So you didn't attend the party to engage in an exotic experience involving a vulnerable woman unable to accuse you of assault?
I would never have planned such a terrible thing. What happened was just bad circumstance.
You mentioned blackmail. Tell me about it.
All right. A couple of days ago, I received an anonymous letter. It said that in the art gallery at Caravansary there exists a painting that incriminates me. The blackmailer made it clear that if there is a painting, then a photograph exists too. And I should be wary of what it might do to my reputation.
What does the blackmailer want from you?
Money, of course. What else do such people want? Needless to say, I don't remember anyone taking photographs at the party. Up until the last moment, I hoped he was bluffing. But he wasn't, as you've just proven to me.
Show me the letter.
I burnt it as soon as I read it. I've left enough evidence. There's no need for any more. Mr. Holmes, I've built my entire career on hard work and uncompromising dedication to the crown. I made a mistake, but I'm not a villain from some cheap adventure fiction. By putting me behind bars, you will benefit precisely no one.
Rotting in prison is the least you deserve, but I have a better idea. You will make amends and help the ones you hurt.
Oh, helfen Sie den Flüchtlingen eigentlich, ne? Weil dazu gehört der Naylor dann auch. Oh Gott, Flüchtlinge oder Naylor nur?
Use your connections to help patriate the refugees, find them decent homes, give them jobs. There must be a meaning to your position and my decision.
Yes, all right, I can do that. So, will you give me the photograph now?
That's not all. Naylor deserves the very utmost of what you can do.
Help the girl? I can't risk the press paying extra attention to her. I will do anything except that.
I need to think this all through. Don't do anything foolish in the meantime.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these people?
Such is the arrogance of British imperialism. I take your point.
Okay, was habe ich hier? Den habe ich auch noch. Oh. Hätte sie töten können, tat es aber nicht. Nicht nur Dieb, sondern auch Handlanger. Der Schurke ist nicht nur ein Dieb, sondern wollte auch eine Frau entführen. Eine. Okay. Opfer des Systems. Die Flüchtlinge sind Opfer des unmenschlichen Systems. Ihre Situation muss und kann verbessert werden. Der Abgesandte braucht die Fotografie. Der Abgesandte hegt einen Eigennutz. In seinem Besitz wäre sie für ihn keine Gefahr, ja. Der britische Abgesandte verdient für seine Tat weder mein Vertrauen noch Vergebung. Eine ruinierte Karriere ist das Mindeste, was er verdient. Ich werde für... Thomas Norton ist ein Vergewaltiger, der bestraft werden sollte. Andererseits würde Flüchtlingen ein besseres Leben verwehrt bleiben. Das ist jetzt eine schwere Entscheidung. Oh. Eigentlich gnadenlose Gerechtigkeit, ne? Ich meine, wenn wir den absäbeln, könnte ja immer noch was Besseres rauskommen, ne? Das ist so eine schwere Entscheidung. Einen Vergewaltiger frei laufen lassen? Eigentlich nicht, ne?
Have you thought it all through?
Not yet.
Oh. Ich kann doch
Come
einen...
on, it's not like we've got anything better to do.
Ich kann doch so einen nicht in dieser Position lassen. Es ist gerade wirklich... Das ist eine schwere Entscheidung, ne? Sau schwer. Entweder ein gutes Leben, aber der könnte uns auch einfach verarschen, wenn wir die Bilder weggeben. Gebe niemals deine Beweise weg, ne? Vielleicht können wir ihnen ja irgendwie anders noch helfen, den Flüchtlingen. Ja, ist ein Spiel. Los. Reißen wir ihn an.
Mr. Holmes, you've returned. Have you uncovered anything new about the theft?
I've brought news, but not all of it will please you.
Fill me in, Mr. Holmes. I won't shoot the messenger.
I tracked down Boniface Mercurio.
I presume he wasn't delighted about the situation.
He was not having a good day on account of his murder. Killed in his own flat by the same person that stole his painting.
Oh, sweet Mercurio. Perishing in the pursuit of his art. How apt.
Ich vertraue dem Künstler irgendwie nicht. Ich finde ihn sehr verdächtig.
I located the thief, but found him rather cold. He was tight-lipped about the painting, too.
Huh, he's dead. How very droll, Mr. Holmes. One presumes you were not responsible.
It was an accident at the refugee camp. He impaled himself on his own knife.
Life is nothing if not cruel and capricious. What about the stolen painting? Have you located it?
I found the source of Mercurio's artistic inspiration. A photograph. What troubled me was that the sexual act captured was non-consensual.
She was violated? Dear God, how despicable.
Her abuser was in fact the British envoy. Mercurio took a picture of him committing the atrocity and then used it as artistic inspiration.
I had no idea a mere break-in would eventually expose such barbarity.
Unfortunately, I could not locate the missing painting.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, such disappointing news. Not even a shred of information? The slightest lead?
I'm afraid the case has gone cold.
I suppose if you were unable to find it, no one else could. What a pity.
Nein, ich bin so Trottel.
You learned something else, didn't you?
Mr. Vogel, I want you to make everything public, including the photograph.
Ich hätte das noch herausfinden müssen mit den Tattoos.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Loyal to your own truth till the end. Yes, I'm acquainted with the staff of the Chronicle. The story is sensational, and will surely draw attention to the gallery. But you must be aware that exposing the scandal will further hurt the victim. Does that not bother you?
No matter what one does, the truth tends to come out, as well it should. I won't be the one to stand in its way.
Though it's only your subjective truth being exposed. Not that I'm judging. It's perfectly reasonable for everyone to have their own views.
When you called me, you knew exactly what you would get.
Oh, but I'm not like you, Mr. Holmes. I cannot be sure of anything. Regardless, I must thank you, for art's sake. Well, now that we've resolved all of our outstanding matters, I have a gift for you. I took the liberty of having it delivered to Stonewood Manor. I am told it belonged to your mother.
Previously, you mentioned there may have been more to my mother's passing than consumption. It appears you were right.
Oh dear, I'd hoped to be wrong.
She was unstable, mentally unwell. She required sustained, specialized treatment, but her madness persisted.
I knew that Violet had disappeared from the public eye, but had no idea of her suffering. I cannot imagine what you're feeling.
I'm fine.
Hat mir an mein Gesicht gefasst?
And what exactly have you sent me?
Frankly, I'm not sure how to answer that. I trust you'll know.
Thank you, Mr. Vogel. I am curious to see what you have procured.
Oh, ich hätte noch das hier machen. Wo ist denn das? Oh, das ärgert mich gerade. Die Tätowierung habe ich sowas von vergessen. Man muss echt aufpassen, dass man nicht so schnell hin und her dackelt, ne? Was haben wir denn hier?
Just look at this thing. It's huge.
It's huge.
It's a
Mehr
bizarre object, and yet oddly familiar.
Did you just remember something?
Yes. A room full of curiosities and artifacts. I think I can find it in the manor.
Sherlock. So, you continue to pursue the imaginary. I had hoped you might have got all this out of your system by now.
Mycroft, what are you doing here? Get out of my house.
It's my house, actually. I've come to bring you back.
I have no interest in returning, let alone with you. I know you lied about Mother all these years, claiming she was merely ill, but she was unstable. She never had tuberculosis. She was not recuperating, but mentally deteriorating, and you never once thought to tell me. How dare you?
I shall not indulge this petulant tantrum. You can just tire yourself out and then slink back to London with your tail between your legs.
Just tell me everything. I'm an adult now. Show me the basic courtesy of an explanation. You know I will find out eventually.
The goal was stability, and that's what you got. The right thing for everyone was to try and move on from her passing.
The consequences of one's actions determines what is right or wrong.
Yes, exactly. The ends justify the means. After leaving Cordona, Sherlock, you had a normal childhood. In London, I was able to support you, guide you, shape you into a fine and productive young man. You have so much potential, so much to offer society.
But that's not the end. Now I found the truth, and it has shattered everything I knew about her, about you, and about myself. I feel unstable because of you. Your actions were not justified. Lying never is.
Oh, grow up, Sherlock. It was a white lie which has as much use in the realm of the interpersonal as the international. It is time you come to accept that some things are bigger than yourself.
Oh, you are full of it. You like to pretend you care about the big picture, but it's just an ego trip. You like knowing more than others. You like greasing palms and rubbing shoulders with the rich and powerful. You like having eyes and ears everywhere. The fact it helps the nation is incidental. Because all you care about is yourself.
It's true. I have agents everywhere, including Cordona. If you weren't so damn stubborn, you'd realize that means I'm only here for you.
Brüderlicher Streit. Tadam. Ja, ihr Lieben. Und damit würde ich sagen, werde ich hier ein Folgenpäuschen machen. Ich bedanke mich jedenfalls fürs Zusehen und bis zur nächsten Folge. Ciao, ciao.